Good evening. The time is 5:30 in the evening and today is a Tuesday. Tuesday 5:30 in the evening, you and I meet on Instagram and we are going to continue meeting till the end of 2020 because we have a lot to talk about, and all that we're going to talk about is about beauty and wellness. And we're going to talk about it the scientific way using the principles of awesome inside out, which means that we are going to make ourselves beautiful at an internal level. We're going to be beautiful at a cellular level, and that beauty is going to radiate, that health is going to radiate on the outside, and it is guaranteed that you will have better than ever skin, hair and body shape, and of course a bonus of a better immunity if you follow the strategy of an awesome inside out. So thank you Tejal for joining. Thank you for joining. And today's topic, without wasting any time, because we have only 30 minutes and we have a lot of content to cover, content which is proven work for thousands of people and will definitely work for you if you take action on this content. And it's going to be easy to take action on this content because I am going to simplify it. The whole intention is to give you a blueprint, to give you action steps which make it super easy for you to implement it even in your busy days and to have freedom from the common nagging skin and hair concerns. So today's topic is oily scalp. It's so common that we are talking about oily skin problems, but we're not talking enough about oily scalp problems. Is a problem of oily scalp quite common? Yes. A lot of people have oily scalp, especially if you're staying in Mumbai or a place like Mumbai. I'm saying Mumbai because it's a very humid place. We tend to sweat a lot. The humidity is very high, and those of you who have a lot of sebaceous gland secretion, it's extremely hassling because both the skin and the scalp can get really oily. So are you somebody who has an oily scalp? By an oily scalp I mean that after you wash your hair, in a few hours or maybe in just one day, your scalp starts secreting the oil. Most of the times this oil is not the healthy oil, it's not a nourishing oil, it's a sticky kind of secretion. In medical language we call it the sebum, and because of this excessive unwanted sebum secretion, the scalp gets really oily, it feels itchy and unclean, there's a lot of dirt which sticks to the scalp, and even your hair starts looking clumped or your hair starts looking uncomfortably weighed down. You don't see hair that looks fresh at all. For the lack of the better word, people say that my hair doesn't look fresh anymore because of the excessive oil secretion of my scalp. And what is the solution to this? The solution I see most people use is that they wash their hair every single day. I know of a lot of people who wash their hair every single day, both guys and girls. So if boys are washing their hair every single day, I think it's still a little easier because of the length of the hair. It's easy to wash and dry every single day. But when it comes to females, especially females with long hair or wavy hair, it's not at all comfortable to wash your hair every single day. Obviously you know it, I don't have to tell you that. So if you're washing your hair every single day because you have to wash your hair every single day, here is a solution for that. I am telling you something that you can do which will keep your scalp from secreting that excessive sebum, which will keep your hair healthy because you're not overwashing it. So we all know that sebum is a name given to the secretion of the sebaceous gland, and this sebaceous gland is something we all have on the face and on the scalp because of our genetic predisposition or because of certain things we eat, eating high calorie food or eating high glycemic index food, highly stimulating food, also because of the temperament, because of the kind of environment we live in, this sebaceous glands can be kind of irritated. So the primary reason why the sebaceous glands are secreting too much oil, I think reason number one stays a genetic predisposition. We are all born with skin type, we are all born with a particular hair type. Similarly, we are all born with a kind of sebaceous gland, a particular size of sebaceous gland, and this sebaceous gland, some people have an extreme extremely sensitive sebaceous gland which reacts to any internal change or any external change, and because of this hypersensitivity, at the smallest change around you or inside you, it starts secreting extra sebum, and anything in excess doesn't give you any benefits. It is this excess sebum which makes your hair sticky, and you know that if any part of your external surface is sticky, it's going to attract dirt and you're going to feel very dirty about it. This is what is typically happening. So is the solution washing the hair a couple of times? Washing the hair every day or washing the hair with shampoo twice, is that the solution? Absolutely not, because by washing the hair twice or washing the hair every single day, what are you doing? You are getting rid of the excessive oil that has been secreted, but have you solved the problem of the overactive sebaceous glands? You haven't, right? So today we are going to talk, because as a doctor, the solution I am going to give you is going to be long lasting. It's not a solution like which use the shampoo, wash it every day. I'm going to talk much deeper than that, because what I want to do for you is I want to make sure that your sebaceous glands are less irritated, less inflamed, and they are not secreting that excessive oil. So what is there to know? One is, do not overwash your hair. And then if you ask me, so what do I do if I don't overwash my hair? If I do not wash my hair, it gets too sticky. Give me a solution. So let me give you a solution. Number one is use a ketoconazole based shampoo. It's a good idea to talk to your physician before you do it, because definitely, though a consultant and expert may charge you for their consultation fee, but they will be telling you from their years of experience, both knowledge as well as clinical experience, and they will be able to suggest you the right product. And by choosing the right product, I think you will save a lot of money. You may spend money on consultation, but that's a far better place to spend money rather than spending money on products that just don't work for you. So I would want you to talk to an expert, because though these conversations are to tell you about the possibility, no doctor would ever recommend you to self-medicate, though these products are extremely safe, extremely simple, and you can buy them over the counter. We are not talking about any strong products, but despite these being such simple products, somebody's knowledge, somebody's experience, somebody's fine-tuning will add that extra wow to all your purchases. It will save you both time and money, because you will get the best ketoconazole, which is the right fit for you if you talk to an expert. But to begin with, look for a ketoconazole based shampoo. Another shampoo that is really going to work for those with oily scalps is salicylic acid based shampoo. So these are the two names I want you to note: ketoconazole and salicylic acid. So if this ingredient is present in your shampoo, you will realize that using these shampoos is making your scalp less oily. So for somebody who feels that in 5 hours their scalp is getting oily, once they shift to using one of these shampoos, they will realize that their scalp is getting oily not after 5 hours now, but probably after 8 hours. As they continue using these shampoos, they will start noticing that their scalp doesn't get oily for a whole day, maybe over a period of time, even for 2 days, and that will be a big relief. Will it not be a big relief? I'm sure that will be a big relief. So these are few things. Now, how to use the shampoo? Just using a shampoo is not enough. You need to know how to use the shampoo. How to use the shampoo is, do not dilute the shampoo. Just wet your hair and then apply the shampoo on your scalp. Leave the shampoo for 5 whole minutes. So most of us are not leaving a shampoo on the scalp for 5 whole minutes. No, not all shampoos need to be left on the scalp for 5 whole minutes, because most shampoos are just to cleanse, just to create that lather and to remove the grease and the grime. But when I talk about a ketoconazole or salicylic acid based shampoo, a shampoo which is specifically meant to reduce your scalp oiliness or specifically meant to control your dandruff, you need to leave it on for 5 whole minutes, because that's the amount of time it takes, that's the amount of contact time it takes for the ketoconazole to start its action and start showing you results. So those of you who say that I have used a ketoconazole shampoo and yet not got results, probably it is the contact time that is where the mistake you're making, or you're diluting the shampoo too much and this dilution is not allowing you to get the results. Now hack number 2. Hack number 2 is never use hot water to wash your hair, especially if you're somebody with an oily scalp. Hot water is going to further irritate your sebaceous glands, and this irritation of sebaceous glands is further going to give you oil production. So always use tap water to wash your hair. Yes, if you're in a very cold place or you're not in a habit of using tap water, you like hot water, suddenly all these years you have been using hot water and it is not at all comfortable for you to shift to tap water, in that case you can begin with making the water lukewarm, and at least as we go towards the last rinse, I would want you to use tap water, especially if you are suffering from an oily scalp. So these are the first tip where we covered 3 tips: which shampoo to use, how to use the shampoo, and what is the right temperature of water to wash it off. Yes, with these ketoconazole and salicylic acid based shampoos, which I said are the perfect shampoos, the right shampoos to control excessive sebum secretion, you got to know that they do not contain conditioners. If you have rough hair, if you have wavy hair, if you have hair that likes to be conditioned, you will have to use a conditioner separately, because a conditioner has no role for the scalp. A conditioner is only for the hair. So I request you to decide whether you need a conditioner or not, and if you need a conditioner, please apply the conditioner only on the hair shafts and not on the scalp. Do not apply the conditioner too much on the top, because if the conditioner seeps in and you do not wash it off well, the conditioner has a property to stay on like a layer. So if there is a layer of conditioner on your scalp, it's further going to add to the greasiness of your scalp and it is going to irritate you even more. So those with greasy scalp but dry hair may need a conditioner, but they have to make sure that they are not using a shampoo plus conditioner. Your shampoo and conditioner have to be 2 separate products, and the conditioner needs to be used only on the shafts of the hair. If that is convenient with you, you can use it only downwards, because that is where the hair is most dry. The hair on the top is generally not so dry. Also, I would want them to make sure that they are not using silicone oils or leave-on like serums touching the scalp. If a leave-on like serum or a silicone oil is touching your scalp, that also can kind of form a layer on your scalp, not allow your scalp to feel clean enough, and all the sebum secretion, which is already on the higher side, is going to get trapped under that silicone oil, and you are going to feel that you are getting no freedom from this greasiness. So these are about external products. Let me finish the external products a little more before I talk about the internal products. Those of you listening to me know that I am a fan of inside out, so I am definitely, every conversation of mine will talk about what to eat. It will also talk about how to make choices, how to make smart choices to be healthy. So yes, we will talk about conditioner someday, definitely. In fact, now that you got it up, let me declare the next topic. The next live is happening on Friday. So let us talk about conditioners and let us talk about serums, because there are a lot of serums. There is an argan oil, there is a Moroccan oil, and then there are silicone based serums like a Live-On. So let us understand what are these and how you can use these, what to mix, what not to mix, because that also makes a big difference. If you start mixing 2 products which are not compatible to each other, they just coat each other and then you don't get the results of either. So like a dandruff shampoo, never dilute a dandruff shampoo, because diluting a dandruff shampoo can hamper the results of the shampoo. At the same time, never mix a dandruff shampoo with any other shampoo, because it has some actives in a particular concentration. Really important to use it the way it is supposed to be used. Also, most important, I'm quite surprised to know, as I have more and more conversations, I have had a lot of people tell me that thank you for sharing this message, because most people did not know that their dandruff shampoo will be effective if and only if they leave it for 5 whole minutes on the scalp, which most people have not been doing. They've just been changing one shampoo after another, but they have not been leaving it for 5 whole minutes on the scalp. Now, if you want to see good difference with a ketoconazole or salicylic acid based shampoo, you cannot use it once or twice. For the first level of change, you will have to use it 2 or 3 times a week as per your convenience. 3 times a week is even more recommended, and you will have to use it for 14 whole days to see the difference. So 3 times a week, and totally you have to use it 14 times. So I have recommended it to a lot of my clients, and 98% of my clients have come back saying that in 14 days they have seen a significant decrease in the itching, in the dandruff, and most importantly the oiliness or the stickiness of the scalp. Now coming to what to eat. So what to eat definitely is going to be essential fatty acids. So there are good fats and there are bad fats, and we have become so scared about the word fat or even growing fat. We've been so obsessed about our weight that anything that is oily is something that we tend to stay away from. I'm glad that things are changing now, but in general, if you ask somebody whether you want to have a ghee on chapati or chapati with no ghee, most people would say ki no, I don't want ghee, I'm watching my weight. So here I want to tell you that things like ghee, things like avocado, things like nuts, things like seeds, even though they are high calorie food, I agree with you that these foods have high calorie and they do have a name for putting on weight. So yes, I want you to add more of nuts, more of seeds, more of avocado and more of ghee in your food. But then if you tell me what happens if I put on weight with these foods, so my takeaway for you there is, if you think that makes you put on weight, then you will have to reduce something else. You may have to reduce 1 cup of tea, replace it with a green tea, or have 1 chapati less and substitute it for that ghee, or probably when you're snacking on something from a packaged food, try to avoid that. So there are several other places. Make a food chart and decide what is easiest to avoid and what is not adding nutrition and still adding fats to your body. So I'm not against eating high calorie food, I'm not against eating high fat food, I'm only against eating non-nutritious food. So if you want to get rid of excess oiliness of the skin or of the hair, you will have to have a lot of good fats in the body, and you will have to make it a habit to add them in your food in as natural and as pure form as possible. Of course, you can have vitamin E capsules, you can have evening primrose oil capsules, and there are several other ways to incorporate this into your body using capsules, but then it is so easy to incorporate it using just natural foods from the kitchen, and I would want you to do that. Now coming to the nutrition part from the kitchen, we just completed. Quickly, now that we have the last 5 to 10 minutes, let me talk about nutrition from the nutrients, from the nutraceuticals rather. So I believe a lot in nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals are vitamins, synthetically prepared vitamins which mimic the natural food substances which are available in powder form, liquid form or capsule, tablet form, and a lot of people today are taking these nutraceuticals which commonly are known as vitamin supplements, and I'm a big fan of vitamin supplements because I feel that whenever I prescribe vitamin supplements, however busy a person is, it's still possible for that person to take it on a daily basis, and whenever anything right is done consistently and persistently, people get very good results. So you can get a lot of nutrition from food, but I still believe in prescribing vitamins because with vitamins you can be consistent, you can be persistent, and it is the consistency and persistency which gives you the results and which is proven time and again that you can go for the best product, but then if you're not taking it in the right dose and if you're not taking it over a period of time, you are going to get mediocre results or most probably you're going to get no results. So what vitamins will you have to pick up at a pharmacy? Most of the times you might need vitamin D and calcium. Vitamin D and calcium are known to soothe the irritated sebaceous glands. vitamin D has worked even for people with oily skin and for loads of people with an oily scalp. So if you are low on vitamin D, again this is a conversation you will have to have with your physician or your wellness consultant or your skin specialist. So you will have to find out if you need vitamin D, and just adding that vitamin D sachet once a week has shown to give good results in reducing the unwanted oiliness, also the excessive perspiration. If people are profusely perspiring more than they were before, suddenly the amount of perspiration has increased. Many times it is because of lack of vitamin D or lack of calcium. Adding these supplements to your body will make you perspire in the right amount, not over perspire. That also could make you feel like your scalp is not so unclean and you don't have to wash it every day, day in and day out. One more thing that works is known as zinc. So zinc is found in a lot of foods like seeds, but seeds are not so easy to consume. Very value for money and very easily found. Zinc supplements, you could take zinc supplements short term, or you could take a multivitamin for hair and scalp which has this zinc supplement in it. So my takeaway message is going to be very simple. In many of my videos you may feel that the takeaway message probably comes to the same 3 or 4 points, because those are the 3 or 4 points that finally matter. It has to be shared again and again till you really feel inspired and motivated to do it. And once you do it, you're going to see the results in as little as 6 weeks. And if you see the results in as little as 6 weeks, then you will never stop it, because why would you stop something once you see the results? People haven't seen the results because they have not been consistent enough for a period of minimum 6 weeks. And yes, just changing the shampoo or just adding a vitamin may not give you delightful results if you have this 3 or 4 step principle which you could do. Today we'll talk only about 3 steps to keep it as simple as possible, but these 3 steps are a must do. The right shampoo used in the right technique and the right frequency, and then eating the right kind of food that contains essential fatty acids, eating it regularly, and the third is taking the right multivitamin if your body is deficient in any vitamin. These are the 3 takeaways, and doing these things right is going to help you have less oily hair. It is going to soothe your sebaceous glands. It's going to reduce their inflammation. It's not going to make them trigger with the slightest season change, so that when you travel, when you want to look good, you don't have one nagging problem that your scalp will start secreting oil, and that will make you look very tired. You know that whether it's your skin or scalp, when it secretes too much oil, you tend to look very tired, and nobody likes to look tired. Everybody wants to look fresh. So you can look fresh every day. So those of you who are watching me, whoever you know, your friends, your loved ones, if they have oily scalp, tell them to watch this video. I'm sure you've liked it. I'm sure you found that there was a lot of value add in this video, and it was not just knowledge, it was actually action steps that you can take. So what is happening on Friday? Friday is our next live on Instagram. We are meeting at 5:30, and we are talking about how you can choose the right conditioner, how you can choose the right post conditioner serum. I think this will be helpful for you. A lot of people have been asking me this question. There are subtle things to know. There is not too much to know, but because we do not know these subtle differences, either we don't do anything at all and we come to a conclusion that nothing works for us, or some people invest in such expensive products because they get carried away and then they feel cheated. I don't want this to happen to anybody. So this knowledge series is to empower you to have amazing skin, hair, body shape and immunity at any age. This knowledge series is to empower you to make powerful choices so that you feel more and more confident about making more and more decisions, and you live the life that you desire. Thank you so much for watching me. See you again on Friday, and you can tell your friends to watch this video if you think this added value. Thank you once again, and have a beautiful evening.